This is a letter to my friend Minea. It was written last Veterans Day, 11 November 2013. My dear Minea, thank you for your phone call today. Even though you were under the weather and busy, you still took the time to call. You made the effort. You remembered. You will never know how much that means to me. Today, while going through papers, I found a copy of the orders sending me to flight school in Fort Walters, Texas. And I found 2 commendations for some of my medals. The ones I threw away at an anti-war rally in San Francisco when I was a student at UC Santa Cruz back in the day. I had joined the school's chapter of VVAW, the Vietnam Vets Against the War. We had meetings and signed petitions and made signs and stuff for demonstrations. And when the big rally and march was planned in San Francisco, we all decided to toss our medals back to the government. Well, the powers that be were prepared for us. They had constructed an imposing plywood wall all around the City Hall building. So the organizers just set up their microphones on the steps in front of the barricade, and as each vet stepped up to the microphone, he identified himself, shouted out his serial number, and then threw his medals over the wall in protest of the war that had gone on for way too long. The war that never should have been fought in the first place. I can still hear the tinkling sound the medals made as they landed on the granite steps behind the wall. I threw mine away too. As we used to say in the Army, they don't mean shit on the block. And they didn't. We later voted to disband the UC Santa Cruz chapter of VVAW because we discovered that 2 of our brothers were FBI informants and had been reporting our legal actions to the Bureau ever since they joined.
President Johnson, meanwhile, let it be known that the FBI is closely watching all anti-war activity.
I was disgusted and saddened and angered when I learned this, the ultimate insult following the ultimate injury, monitoring the activities of returning soldiers who fought for the country. Despicable. Anyway, the day makes me think back. I came home to serve for 3 weeks before reporting to Travis Air Force Base near San Francisco for my Pan Am flight to Vietnam. Once in country, I adjusted to the heat and humidity, but I never adjusted to the war.
The hilltop was strewn with
I was appalled
200
at the war crimes I witnessed and indirectly participated in, and I unwisely made my feelings known. This made me a pariah among my fellow soldiers and aviators, and my life was threatened almost daily. The stress was unbelievable. The only people who liked me were the wounded I flew back to medical tents. All these years later, I still try to distinguish the difference between courage, so-called bravery, and foolhardiness. I don't even consider insanity. When I got home, with my short hair, I was invisible or suspect. I had missed the summer of love, the human beings in Golden Gate Park, all the kite flying, face painting and kissing and touching and free love. I came home to paranoia and assassinations and riots. I never came home. I remember these things. I think about these things on Veterans Day. I lost my faith, my country, my sense of worth. I discovered that nothing is sacred. Nothing. It's about all I feel anymore about any of that disaster. I'm surprised I'm writing this to you. That's all I'll say, except thanks for calling. You were incredibly wonderful. Much love.